So I put the lights on there.
A police car outside the White Bear Lake Library didn't mean there was an emergency, just a special guest on hand for children's story time.
The rear-wheel drive ones are a little hard to drive in the wintertime.
We have the police coming, so we try and get community members to come in and talk to the kids about different things that I can't provide in story time. We try and do that quarterly to connect with the community, and it's a lot of fun, especially for something like the police where they can bring a squad car. The kids and the parents really love that.
Officer Nate Hook from the White Bear Lake Police Department was on hand to read to the kids. After a few books and songs from the children's librarian, it was Officer Hook's turn to do some reading.
This is my neighborhood. The police station is in my neighborhood.
Officer Hook, who is originally from New Zealand, used to be a high school teacher before becoming a cop in the United States. Reading to preschool kids was a new assignment for him, though.
It was probably one of the scarier things I've done. Even as a high school teacher, you know, the bigger kids are different, so the little ones are like, ooh, yeah. So it was a different challenge, but yeah, fun.
After reading to the kids, Officer Hook showed off some of the items a police officer carries on their belt.
Obviously, it has the gun, as the young man mentioned here.
He says coming to story time was a good way to teach the kids about his profession.
A lot of parents will unfortunately say things like, look, there's a police officer. If you don't behave, I'm going to have him arrest you. And of course, that's an extremely negative connotation for a police officer because the majority of our role is helping. People come to us for all sorts of issues, as I said to the kids, medicals, civil issues, things like that where people need assistance or even just plain old advice about what to do. And we're often the first port of call for all sorts of issues. It's not the bad stuff or the negative stuff that we're often associated with.
Anna Hazy Krieger is the children's librarian at the White Bear Lake Library. She reads to the kids every Friday morning and says story time is more than just fun for the kids.
It's promoting literacy and reading, but the kids just have so much fun. They have no idea all of the amazing skills that they really are building and learning. I mean, something as simple as doing a song where, you know, you go up and you go down, or they're listening, that's preparing them to listen, translate those actions, self-control. So many skills and all those silly little things that we do are really fundamental building blocks for getting kids ready to read.
Storytime at the White Bear Lake Library is every Friday morning at 10:30.